I picked these couple of songs here that I sang for a reason, and it's because I feel like they really speak to my life and my story. I guess to kind of start things off, I'm from Texas. I don't know how much you guys know about me at this point, but I'll just kind of give you the basics. I'm from Texas, born and raised there. My parents divorced when I was really young. I think I was 10 years old, and that kind of really affected my life. And I'm sure if any of you guys have had, a rough childhood or parents that have been divorced, you know what that's like. You know how tough that can be and how that really changes, just the support in the family that you have. It changes everything around your life and what it looks like. So my life changed a lot when I was little. And I think for me, like, what's really been important for me and really helped me as a person to move through life and to not just like give up or to just get thrown around by all the different things that life can throw at us is faith. I spent a lot of time in church. I grew up in church. That's a big part of my story, my background, and for a long time I thought I knew who God was and I thought I knew what I was supposed to do, but it wasn't really until I was like 13 or 14 that I really started to understand. I tried to hide it, and I tried to say, you know what, none of this is affecting me, right? Like, my parents are split up, doesn't matter, whatever. And like on top of that as well, like my dad is a drug addict, and he's also a Christian as well, and he's like walking that battle and that journey, just like all of us have things that we struggle with. But he was in and out of prison, and so for me, I was thinking, man, I am ashamed of my father. I don't, what do I have to say? Like, my dad's in prison. Awesome, I don't have a dad there to help me or to be there or to teach me, like, how to be a man and what that means. And so for the longest time, I felt really alone and didn't know how to deal with that. But I knew I needed a dad, and I knew that, like, from prison, I wasn't really going to get a whole lot of that. And that's where really, again, like, faith and God have shown up in my life. When I was 13, I gave my heart over to the Lord. I said, you know what, I understand you in my head, I understand the Bible, and I understand these things, but, like, I don't really know you. There's such a big difference to know about someone and to know someone. I want to encourage you guys with that tonight. Think about that in your life. Do you know, like you two, you know each other, you're best friends. You know each other, right? You don't just know about each other. Knowing about someone is like the introductory level, right? You hear about who they are. Like, I heard about Phil before I met him. I heard that Phil looked like Justin Bieber. I was like, oh,
I never said that.
Oh,
yes, he does.
It was the hair.
All right, guys. Back on point. But now that I've gotten to know Phil, I know who he is. I know he's an awesome, wonderful guy. And I want to encourage you guys, get to know Jesus. I know you guys are going to get to know me more as, we spend time around each other, But I just want to encourage you guys with that. Going to school, I'm getting my degree in leadership and ministry. That's so I can share with you guys, so I can help you guys out, and so I can try to figure out what life means, I got a beautiful wife.
Oh my gosh.
I got 2 dogs.
Embarrassing touch.
Where did they come from? Despite all the good things that have happened to me, like, all that's meaningless without God, seriously. And God's the glue that holds it all together. Like, Ashley and I have great days on our own, and we have a lot of really tough days on our own. But what keeps us held together is God and the love of Jesus, and it helps just life be much more meaningful and purposeful, and it helps us to recover from those things that we seemingly can't. Like, how am I going to recover from a dad being in prison? How am I going to have a father to lead me? That's not going to happen in an earthly world. And now I live like 3,000 miles away from him because he's in Texas with the rest of my family. So that's not going to happen. But God took the step, and he took that place in my heart. And I still love my dad on earth. I still love him, and we still talk a lot. But as far as like leading my life, that's all been God. So I want to encourage you guys, don't just know of him, but know him.